Hi guys, it's Bridget. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, definitely remember to hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on everything that I post. Also, be sure to check me out on Instagram and Goodreads. I'll put links to all of that down in the description below. I am so excited for today's video. I'm going to be going through all the books that I've chosen for the 12 Days of Bookmas Readathon, which is hosted by Catherine Zofrey and M from Bookish Potatoes, and I'll put links to all of that also in the description so you can go check that out. Their channels are great. I have actually never participated in a readathon before, so I'm so excited for this one. I've mostly avoided them in the past because I think I've mentioned before that I don't really like TBRs, and you really have to have them for a readathon. Pretty much the second somebody tells me I have to read a book, it's suddenly the last thing I want to do, even if it's a book I'm excited about. But I'm going to get past that for this. I'm so excited to join in with everyone. I think it's going to be just so much fun. So there are 12 prompts in this readathon, and I've chosen 5 books that I think will cover most, if not all of them. The first prompt is 12 drummers drumming, and that's read a book with music in it. I actually really struggled to find a book that fit this prompt, and the one that I ended up choosing was Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. From what I can tell, this book takes place in a post-apocalyptic or like dystopian future, and it follows a theater troupe that is called the Traveling Symphony as they sort of travel around and perform in what remains of the world. So I figured it's called the Traveling Symphony. They probably have something to do with music, and I'm just hoping that it does actually fit the prompt. If anyone has any better suggestions, I am more than open to hearing them. But in general, I've been wanting to read this one for so long, so I'm really excited to actually jump into it for this readathon. The next prompt is 11 Pipers Piping, and that is listen to an audiobook, but unfortunately, I'm just gonna skip past that one because audiobooks aren't really my thing. I don't really enjoy listening to them, so I'm just gonna move on from that. The next book that I chose that I think is going to cover multiple prompts, which is awesome, is Atomic Love by Jenny Fields. I have had this book sitting on my shelf for so long. I think it is about a female physicist who worked on the Manhattan Project and fell in love with one of her colleagues, and now during the Cold War, an FBI agent reaches out to her and he wants her to spy on her former colleague because he thinks that he's like a spy or selling secrets or something like that. So this one is going to cover the 10 Lords a Leaping, read a historical fiction prompt, the 9 Ladies Dancing, read a book with a female protagonist, and 2 Turtle Doves, which is read a book with dual perspective, and I'm pretty sure that this one does. I kind of flipped through it and it seems like it's from her perspective, the physicist, and also the FBI agent. So we'll see, but hopefully this one will check off a bunch of boxes. The next book that I decided to add to my TBR for this readathon is Migrations by Charlotte Mcconaughey, and this one is going to cover the 7 Swans of Swimming, read a book on or near the water. This book follows a researcher, Franny, who is on her way to like the Arctic or maybe Antarctica to follow a very specific type of bird and their migratory patterns. From what I can tell, a lot of this story takes place on a boat, which is perfect for this prompt. And throughout the journey, you kind of get flashbacks into Franny's life. This is one that I keep constantly putting holds on at the library, and then once I get it, I don't actually read it and it gets pushed aside. So I'm actually really excited to dive into this one because I've heard nothing but good things about it. People seem to really like it. And I'm excited to see what it's all about. The next book that I want to read for this readathon is The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd, and this one is going to cover the prompt for 5 Golden Rings, a book that has gold on the cover. I actually think that this book is going to be perfect for this readathon because it is a retelling of Jesus's story, but from the perspective of Anna, who is his wife in this retelling. This book has been getting a lot of great reviews all year, but it's not one that I have really been wanting to pick up since I got it a couple months ago, but I think that Christmas is the perfect time to pick it up. I mean, it's a story about Jesus, and I mean, I'm not particularly religious, but what better time to read a retelling of his life? Oh, and I almost forgot, this one also covers the prompt 3 French Hens, which is read a book that takes place in another country. So this one's just covering also a lot of prompts, and I'm loving it. And then, of course, finally, I am reading The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss as the group read. This is not one that I would normally pick up. I'm not usually a very seasonal reader, but the other books that I chose are kind of heavy, so I think this one will be perfect to just read something really lighthearted, and I'm really looking forward to it and seeing what everyone else thinks about it. So those are the 5 books that I've chosen for the 12 Days of Bookmas Readathon. I am so excited to participate in this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I will put all of the information for the readathon in the description below. Let me know if any of you guys are participating in this as well. I would love to know what's on your TBR, and if you're not, why not? You definitely should. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as usual, guys, if you enjoyed this content, please do remember to go like and subscribe, and also check me out over on Instagram and Goodreads. Otherwise, I will see all of you in my next video.